right, waiting to see if I get a connection. I should, but it can take a second. Yes! Okay, we have our connection there. Let's just make sure this is working. Test. Oh, I don't think you can see that yet. Oh, there it is. It's in the Twitch stream there. All right, there's the multi-stream, so we know that's working. Good. Let's do a quick test. Whoops. Test. And let's see. Oh, yeah, why is that not visible? Hold on a minute. Oh, because I didn't click the button. There we go. There it is. Let's try test again. Yes, there it is. And on this page, I will also type test and verify that it shows up. Did I type it? Wait, did I actually type it? I did. Why is it not showing up here? It should be showing up there. Do I? Oh, chat is disabled for this stream. Okay, hold on. I probably have to hit the refresh button and then try this again. Do I need to have these open? This is actually, I did not test this last time. By the way, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, so I'll just tell you right now. Yeah, I think it does work. So I'm just verifying. Yes, there it is. Excellent. Okay, good. We're good. Does that close it? No. Okay, good. Good. This all stays where it should. Wow. Okay. I don't know why there's so many of them. Hold on. Okay. Oh, whoops. I just exited the app. That's my fault. No, that's my fault. I did that. I see what it's doing. Sorry about that. All right. This will take 2 seconds to say activate. There it is. Activate. And activate. And then just click on this. And the window is there. Perfect. All right. Now, all I have to do is go to each of these windows. And I'm going to do something a little bit different this evening. I'm actually going to do a drawing just from scratch. Just something, kind of a palette cleanser, as it were. I had a request to draw a Pokemon creature. Now, I'll admit... oops, hold on a minute. Sorry. I will admit that I am not... I'm not really familiar with Pokemon. It's not something that ever... just wasn't a thing that that I ever got into. I have no problem with it. It just bypassed me. And so I don't honestly know much about it outside of the stuff I think that anybody with any passing knowledge of like pop culture does. But outside of that, I really don't know. So I couldn't tell you any of the story stuff with it. Oh, I just realized this was muted. I don't think that matters, but just on off chance it does. So, like I said, but what's interesting is the few times I've sort of looked, not into it, but I've come across different articles about it, there's some things about it that are surprisingly adult for something that feels like it is really aimed at younger people. And this ended up being one of those things. I didn't know it at the time. But somebody asked me to draw a creature called, I believe it's pronounced a Fantalump. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. And I didn't even know what it was. And then I looked, and looking on there's several different Pokemon indexes, I guess you would call them. And it says Phantump, not Phantalump. Phantump is a ghostly Pokemon possessing a tree stump. It's created when a spirit possesses a tree stump. It is said that the spirit is that of a child who became lost in the forest and died. And now that's a very adult concept for a series that is mostly built around a little... I don't know, what is Pikachu supposed to be? A little lightning cat? Let me get a quick sip of water here. It's really strange, because that's not the only example of that I've seen, and I'm somewhat baffled by it, because I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not saying there can't be anything adult in kid stuff, but there's there's no middle ground. It's not like there's an kind of tiers of this stuff. It's either cutesy, whatever type of things, and then it jumps to, okay, this is a dead child spirit inhabiting a tree stump. It takes quite a leap, I guess is the way to say it. So it was interesting because, like I said, I didn't know, why am I not seeing the reflector app here? Why is it not, hold on, why is it not showing up? Unless I have, oh, am I on the right thing? Sorry. It should be, oh, that's really weird. I wonder why it's not there. Huh. Oh, that's aerial. Where is reflector on this thing? It should be showing up. Okay, well that's bizarre. It's running. All right, yeah, I see it. Huh. Hold on. I just gotta re-add it. I don't know why it's not there. Not that it really matters. Okay. Oh, let me make sure. No, it's running. I see it. So it is definitely running. It's just not showing up for some reason. Okay, let's see. Ah, there it is. I know why. Got it. Okay, done. Why is it formatted like that though? Ah, that's why. Got it. Okay, I've solved that problem. I figured it out. Okay, so let's run the opening. All right, and then we'll turn this off. And so I should chats from all three. Oh, I did forget one thing. I apologize. One thing really quick. So chats from both YouTube channels and Twitch. Sorry, I didn't mute that. Should now show up. And you should be able to see them. They should be in that upper... Oh, I just realized that. Hold on, that's going to get cut off because of the upper third. Let me move this down just so it's under... There we go. Now you should be able to see it pretty clearly. I'll just do a quick test to verify that the upper side of it... Test. There it is. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, it shows up twice on my screen, but not on there, which is all that really matters. So that's okay. All right. Sorry, I forgot to paste one thing. So anyway, yeah, so somebody requested this, and I went to look at an image of it, and I happened to see what the description is, and I was just kind of struck by the fact that it's, like I said, there's more than one. I think there's another Pokemon that's, it's a child that's wearing its dead mother's skull on its head. Stuff like that. Again, I don't care. I have no investment in this thing whatsoever, but it's just strange because I just associate that with like the cartoon and younger people and stuff like that. So to see these really adult elements to them is really odd to me. So, but I'll draw it. Why not? I mean, it's a relatively simple creature as far as I could tell. I don't know whether I'll do it all in one shot on this, but whatever. So what I am going to do though is I'm going to rotate, even though I've got it wide, I'm going to rotate it like this because it's a creature that makes more sense vertically than horizontally. And basically it looks virtually the same every single iteration I've seen of it, but I'm going to try to make mine a little bit more Halloween-y and scary. Not scary, but a little more sinister. A lot of times it kind of comes off as cutesy, which is an interesting thing to say about, again, a creature that's supposed to be a dead child spirit. But a lot of times it comes off in this very cutesy way. And I'm going to go a little bit of a different direction on it. I'm not even going to bother, not Alpha Lock, I'm not even going to bother with sketching it or anything. I'm just going to kind of, because it's simple. So I'm just going to, whoops, wrong drawing guide. I need symmetry, please. So I am going to use symmetry for this, though. And I'm just going to kind of make a version of it and see how this goes. So, all right, let's, oh. Okay, actually, I don't need the assist yet. I will need the assist later, but for now, I can just start with making simple ellipses here. Why didn't it, oh. Yeah, I didn't think about the fact that it's going to, okay, hold on, because I do want it to be even. So I guess what I need to do is something like this to keep it even. There we go. And then I want to center this. Center. And then let's make a, whoops, let's make another layer. And this will be the kind of, because basically they're all kind of the same this way, which I'm fine with. I'm not necessarily looking to break the mold on what this thing looks like. It's a simple design, which is not even a criticism. It's just it's a simple design. That's okay. But I'm not looking to go crazy. But I do want to do. That does not look even. It looks off. Even though, no, I guess it does. Where's the? Let me put the other drawing guide on. This is what I get for saying this would be easy. Not easy, but that it was gonna. Oh, anyway, I made the thing too light. There we go. Done. Oh yeah, you can see that's not symmetrical at all. Okay. Let's turn these off. Let's do a new one. Yeah, see, this is the trick of something like this. Not a trick. It's just let me turn the smaller one back on. Drop it down. Do a new layer. Okay. So I want to make this even. So if I'm going to do that, let's do it like this. Come to here. Come to here. Come to, I guess, there, maybe. Yeah, it looks relatively straight. I mean, it's not centered, but that's okay. Doesn't need to necessarily... Okay, that's fine. Alright, now let's go to the bigger one. Turn the smaller one off. Or delete it. Deleting is fine. Okay, so same thing here. Let's try to make this even. I'm just kind of... This is loose, obviously, but okay, no, that's it. See, but it's straight at least. I mean, it's not centered, but it's straighter. Okay, so and make that pretty thin because I want it to be like it's an under. I want the head to be kind of up, and then this I will need the symmetry for. Let's do a new layer. Turn the assist off on you. Turn the assist on you, and this is just kind of a. Yeah, it's like a piece of wood. It's like this, almost like a, what are those? Oh, I don't know what they're called. They're called, what's the word for it? Like a Duplo or something. You know, they're tight. I can't remember. There's a word for these, like, young kid type of Legos. And that's what I'm kind of going for. It's just this very kind of simple, soft shape. I'm not worried about the... Let's see, will that arc? Oh, it will. That's good. Okay. Yeah, something like that. Although, I don't like how it's... Yeah, it's not arced enough. This. There we go. Okay, there we are. And then, let's do another one that's a symmetrical. Well, this doesn't have to be symmetrical because this can just be, because basically it needs to, I need to arc this across. And more than that though. It's got to have more of an arc. Something like that. Okay, I need to center that. Okay, and then it has this little divot in the head. So we'll go ahead and just divot that. So that's the divot. Okay, and then now this is the interesting part because I want to kind of hey new gamer. Okay, well actually, okay, can you see my screen? Are you seeing this? And I'll explain in a second. Oh, and did that thing show up? Did your message show up or did it already fade away? So first off, can you see this screen? Just want to make sure I've got, because I've changed a couple things, nothing big, but can you see this shape thing? I just want to verify you can actually see it. And that you can hear me, I guess. I'll wait till you answer. I just want to make sure I didn't break anything. I don't think I did, but yes. Oh, good. It showed up there. Yes. Okay. So this is, I guess this is called a Phantump. It's a Pokemon character that somebody asked me to draw. And so I'm drawing it, but I want to try to make a kind of more sinister version of it. So I didn't really know anything about this character until I kind of looked it up just to see, and then read what the character, and I was talking earlier about the fact that there's some really interesting stuff in the Pokemon universe where it gets really adult, kind of out of nowhere. So, I don't know. That might be too overtly sinister. Maybe just having dead eyes is better, and then having something coming out of it. Like, just stick with this because this is generally how it looks. And then it has this mouth. Although I think I'm gonna not have a mouth. I think I'm gonna have mine not have a visible mouth. But I kind of want to have this thing where there's like a groove that comes out of it and goes into the wood, like this. Just because I think it can be creepier. So this is all just shaping. Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, because most of the versions of it I see are weirdly cutesy for a character that is supposed to be based on a dead child's spirit. I don't know. It's whatever. I don't care. It's just odd. To me, it's odd. So I'm going to try something different with it and see if it works. Okay, so what I want to do here is... Oh, there's inner eyes, too. Although the inner eyes... Ooh, I have an idea. I have an idea for the inner eyes. Hold on. Yeah, okay, let's clean this up first. I'll do the eyes in a minute. So, what I'm going to do is let's go to the eraser. Let's erase that. Let's erase that. And then I'm going to have to soften that edge up, and that's okay. Yeah, right, yes, okay. I know, yes, that was my reaction too, because I don't know what your familiarity with Pokemon is, right? I don't really have... Oh, sorry, I just bumped the mic. I don't really have any. I've always associated... I'm with you. I'm with you. Actually, I'm glad now because this is all showing up on the screen. I don't have to read it. That's great. No, I agree. It's weird. There's a couple of... I mean, whatever. It's different. There's a couple of things that I have found in Pokemon that are like this, where... Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Where they have this really dark background for some of these characters, but from what I've read in a couple of places, and I will admit, I don't know if I'm reading some kind of bootleg version of Pokemon lore, but I don't think I am because I've seen it in a couple of places, is that this character is a piece of wood, a wood stump. Oh, wow, okay, so isn't that what the Phantump background is? Or do you not know the Phantump character? I honestly, I don't. Wow, okay, yeah, so you know what, if you have 150 of these things, then you're well more versed in it than I am. Like I said, I only know about this because I was looking up the character for kind of a reference point, and they were mentioning this thing about the background of it, and I thought, okay. And I've seen like different things where they talk about, that there are these kind of, sinister is the wrong word, but these kind of darker elements to some of the stuff in Pokemon, which is interesting. I don't have any problem with it, but my exposure to Pokemon was always just like the cartoon and knowing that it was a card game. And being that I'm not really somebody who plays card games and the cartoon never appealed to me all that much, I didn't really know anything about it. To be honest, I knew very little. And so, yeah, I was looking at the background of this character, and that's where it said, oh no, was that on assist? Yep, sure was. Okay, I gotta turn the assist off. I screwed that up. There we go. The assist needs to be off on this so I can erase this more smoothly. So I just happened to see that, and that was the thing it said the background was. And I thought, wow, that's a dark background for a Pokemon character. All right. Again, I'm not trying to say I think it's bad. It's just kind of... No, that's great. Listen, I think collections are not a bad thing as long as they are bringing you some kind of happiness, then they're good. I don't know why that... No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical for something like this. Collections are fun. So... I have no issues with that whatsoever. I probably will. And it's, look, you're certainly not alone. There's a lot of people who are into it. A lot of people. That Pokemon Go thing. I know lots of people who play that. And I see people playing it, so I understand. And Pokemon in general has been around for a long time. And it has... I can't think of a time where it wasn't popular. Well, you had all those things, I guarantee you know more about than me. I don't know anything about... I am not any kind of programmer. I never played Dungeons and Dragons when I was younger. Never played Magic. Always admired the artwork. I actually did buy... This is so many years ago, I don't even know. But I remember, I think it was maybe the fourth rule book for D&D. I don't remember. It was a long... I mean, we're talking like 15, 20 years ago. I bought one of the big rule books just because of the artwork. I just wanted the artwork. I never really looked at the rules or cared about anything. I never intended to play it. I just knew I liked the artist that I was seeing in it. And I mean, I remember some of that artwork really, really vividly. So, regardless of the fact that I don't know anything about it, well, you know, hey. There's a reason that that type of stuff is seen as being the stereotypical nerd thing. It's because, you know, stuff like that. I generally look at something like Dungeons and Dragons especially, and I understand why it's so appealing. Because it's well crafted. You know, they figured out, where is this? Right there. They clearly figured out how to make a very, very successful role-playing game. Yeah, I mean, it never seemed difficult. I couldn't really tell you why. I guess because I don't really remember having a lot of friends that played it. I'm sure that's why. If I knew a lot of people when I was younger who played it, I probably would have played it. But I don't remember anybody that I was friends with that really played it in any serious way. And I think too, and this is due to my age. I mean, I'm now old. So when I was younger, D&D was still, I think there was still some of the fallout of the whole thing where it was being blamed for child murders and all this garbage, the satanic panic thing. That was still around enough that I think it made parents reluctant to let their kids play it and stuff. I mean, it was all garbage. It was all nonsense. It was just a way to try to blame something that older people didn't understand, you know, which is just typical. So it's the same thing when they say that video games make kids violent. They don't. You know, it was the same thing with Dungeons and Dragons, was seen as satanic because there was magic and occult things in it. So it became a very, very easy blame, you know, thing to blame. Because I think there was some kind of, there was something where I think some kids murdered another kid and they blamed it on, you know, saying, oh, they played Dungeons and Dragons, and that suddenly became, oh, well, then that's clearly what made him do it. No, it didn't. That's not what made him do it. Nothing in Dungeons and Dragons is going to make somebody go out and kill somebody else. Sorry, it's not. This sort of eternal attempt to blame media for actions that are far more involved. I'm not going to say it wasn't a component. Can somebody become deluded enough that they start to think that something fake is real? Well, sure. Of course they can. Happens all the time. It's mental illness. It's one component of it, is you stop being able to discern reality from unreality. Yeah, that's the thing, is I'm actually really happy about the fact that a lot of this stuff that was seen, again, when I was younger, which was a much different time, being interested in nerd stuff was not like it is now, where nobody really cares. Everybody has some form of their nerddom that they're into, and it's just a thing that people have. They have their fandoms. It's really more of it not even being a nerd, it's just fandom. And that's great. I don't think people should feel bad about liking something. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. This is an empty layer, correct? Yes. Okay, let's do we have to kind of continue that on. Make sure I'm on the right thing. I am. But yeah, the Dungeons and Dragons thing was not seen as something that you necessarily broadcast the people that you played. I do remember that. Kind of like comics. People didn't, you know, when I was in high school, you didn't go around bragging that you read comics. There weren't Marvel movies. There wasn't all that stuff. It was different. That's all. Well, I try. I'll say that. That's all you really can do. None of us is good all the time. But yeah, it was a different thing. So I didn't really know anybody who played D&D. I probably would have played. At the very least, I would have... You know what I would have had a lot of fun doing? I would have had a lot of fun doing, like, character sheets. I would have been the person they'd come to and say, oh, can you do a character sheet for this? Yeah, sure, I'll do a character sheet. You know, what do you want? Oh, you're a warlock? Okay, got it. I'll make a warlock sheet for you. Yeah, that type of stuff I would have done. Well, you know, it's a... You know what? I got lucky. It really isn't anything other than I got lucky. I got lucky because I got exposed to a lot of different people when I was young. I really... Oh, I just see that the screen froze. Hold on, let me fix that for you. Sorry. Just noticed it. Hold on, you'll see it in a second. That's really what it is I was very fortunate that I got to hang around with a lot of different people. Oh, voice acting. Yeah, I always think I could do voice acting. Whether I really could or not, I probably couldn't. But it's one of those things that I think about where I'm like, oh yeah, it'd be fun to be a voice. Of course, I don't think it actually is fun. I'm sure it's work just like everything else is. But you know, let me expand this canvas really quick. Just because I need more room for the... Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's a game that's geared towards creative people. I mean, that's for sure. It really is. You do have to be able to apply imagination and, like, people who craft the scenarios for all this stuff. I've watched some things where people do it. It's amazing. It's amazing the stuff that they think of, and, you know, trying to game out these different scenarios. That's the part that always I thought was... Let me do a reset on that. There we go. Interesting, and I could have done was like writing a campaign, not really performing it, not doing the actual, like, guiding people through it, but the idea of coming up with it. That was always really neat to me. That was kind of a cool concept, was to, okay, construct this world and the basics of it. Okay, let me keep going here. I'm gonna lose what I'm doing. That always seemed like a neat thing. That always seemed like something that I would have a lot of fun doing. All right, so basically this thing has this little weird, or this odd little tuft of hair that comes out of it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Let's go to our taper pen for a minute. Let's pump that up to a 10. Let's see how big that is. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's see if we can do some sort of weird ghostly hair. Let's see what I can come up with this. This is where I get sort of... The taper pen can be interesting to try to make this stuff line up. Okay, that's not bad. All right. Yeah, okay. I'm digging that. Yeah. No, I mean, that's really all it is. It's just these little hair things. I don't know what else to describe them as. All right, so let me just go ahead and sharpen this down to a point right there. Okay. Oh, you know what? I know what I made a mistake there. What I should have done is I should have done this on a different layer so that I can erase it more effectively. All right, so... Oops. Go back to the pen. There we go. Okay, well, now I got to try to... Yeah, not like that, though. Close. There we go. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. And then do the same thing here where we have it come up. Ah, so close. So close. Whew. Okay, I can live with that. And then we'll go to... We'll just erase this little bit here, I think. And the rest can stay... Oh, it's on a taper pen. No, it's on a regular pen. Okay, good. Let's just do that really quick. And, oh, what I'm going to do really, for very, very quickly here, is my dog needs to get her dinner and her medicine. So, if you'll bear with me, it will not take me long at all. I'm going to go ahead and just do that. And let me pause really quick here. I'm going to put my little Be Right Back screen up. And I'm going to mute my mic. I'll be back in probably 3 minutes. Oh, actually, you know what? I can leave this. What? Yeah. Oh, I don't know why I need that. Here. Yeah, let's leave that. Well, I'll do that in case somebody were to join and not realize that I'm not here. So I'm going to be back in 2 seconds. Be right back. Okay. I don't know if that was even 3 minutes. Hopefully it wasn't. Okay. There we go. Back to what we were doing. All right. So we have the hair. And now we need to put these little branches that come off the head, which, okay, we can do that. So we'll go back to our normal brush for that. And put these little... I'm not going to make these symmetrical. I'm just going to kind of make them... I don't know. I want to kind of like twist them off a little bit. Kind of make them a little bit more crooked and gnarled. Actually, wait a minute. What I should do is, let me do this. Let me put the main branches. I don't know. I don't really... No, okay. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to kind of just form the main branch arms here. Then I'll put smaller stuff off them, but I want them to almost form horns because I am kind of making a more, like I said, I don't know. I don't know if I like the wiggleness of that. I don't think I do. I think because the head's smooth, I think the whole thing has to be smooth. So let's just go ahead and... I didn't think I was going to do that. Okay, that's fine. That's smooth enough. So let's just go ahead and do a thing here. And then we'll follow this. And we will just twist that in. All right. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. We'll give it more of an angle like that, because I don't want them to be exactly symmetrical. I normally like stuff like this to be symmetrical, but I think for this one I kind of like the idea that they're going to be slightly different. Just a little bit of... Ugh, I don't like that one, though. That didn't come out right. Let's do... You know what? The problem... You know what my problem is? This is still not a big enough canvas. Let's widen this way out. Oh, don't do that. Just widen it out. Wind it out. Just make it a lot bigger. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and do that horn again. I want to have it come out more. So something like this. There we are. Yeah. That's better. That's better. And then same kind of thing over here. But maybe sharpen it a little bit. So that comes down. They kind of look like yo. Huh. Hold on a minute. I got an idea. Just something to try here. Yep. That's what I should have done right from the beginning. Make them look more like actual just demon horns. Just go with it. If I'm going to make this thing sinister, then make it sinister. Don't, mess around with it. Just kind of draw it. Okay, well, that was good till I got to the end. I got to sharpen it out. Man, that's tough to... I've been a little down since me and my girlfriend and I split. I'll be on good terms. Yeah, that's tough. I remember splitting with girlfriends, that's for sure, and it's never easy. That's not... Yeah, hi. That's my dog licking my arm. Yeah, I know, you ate. You ate already. And you bumped my arm, so I gotta restart that line. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, new gamer. That sucks. Unfortunately, that does happen. I don't know that I've known anybody in my life, because you always hear these stories about somebody who met that person, who met the perfect person first time and stuck with them their whole life, and I'm sure those people exist, but I never met one of them. Everybody I know, man, that line is just not cooperating for me. Hold on a second. Doing it the reverse way, I think, was the better option. There we go. Unfortunately, that just sucks. And it's one of those things in life, and there's more than one thing like this. Unfortunately, it happens a lot, where it's just, there's nothing, people try. Yeah, well, it's good that it was a mutual thing. That's always, there is no best version of splitting up. There isn't. But the closest you're going to get to it is, well, we both knew that this was something that we probably should do. That's as close as you get to a good version of splitting up. And yeah, that's not uncommon. The thing where you, man, I am really, you know what? Rather than keep fighting this over and over and over, even though they're not going to be perfectly symmetrical, I'm just going to go ahead and take this and move it over here and alter it. That's just smarter. But yeah, I mean, that's, like I said, there is no good version of splitting up. There isn't. And there's, people are going to tell you, and it is true, it's technically true, that, over time it'll get better and you'll realize that you made the right decision. All that stuff is true. It's not, they're not lying to you. But it doesn't really help you when it's happening. It's one of those things that you realize later. You're like, oh, okay, we did make the right decision. But in the middle of it, no, there's nothing anybody tells you in the middle of it that's going to make it any better. There just isn't. That's, that it is true that it is a sign that there was something there. If you're in pain from it ending, that's definitely true. You wouldn't want to split up with somebody and not feel anything, because then there was nothing there. So there is that element of it. So that, I think, is accurate when people say it. But it's not like that doesn't suddenly make where you're like, oh, you know what? Yeah, okay. Now that you say that, I feel better about this. No, you don't feel better. You still don't feel better about it. It's still a painful, terrible thing. I just realized I need to have a, what do you call it back here, so that you can actually tell there's a back of this thing. It still just ends up being a thing that you sit there and just have to try to work through. Like I said, I've been married now for 17 years. And I can still remember some of the pain of those early breakups. I remember not having a great time when it happened. Even though at this point I'm well past it, it's not like I don't remember how bad it was at the time. So that's the, you know, and there is not much you can do about that pain except to realize it's there. Don't try to pretend it's not there. It is there. You know, there's hold on, I'm just looking at something. And just, you know, I don't know. Oh man. Yeah. The first girlfriend is the toughest one. That was for me the relationship I had the longest that ended was the first one, and it was that type of thing. And the ones after that, none of them ever got as far as that first one, except for my wife now, and that's the one that lasted. And yeah, you know, that is, there's no way around the fact that that's a rough thing to go through. And people will try to help you out, and it's nice that they do. But like I said, to some degree, there is no, oh, you know what? I just realized I don't need that part. It is just a thing where the only thing that does, or at least for me, I remember that did make it slightly better was that if it was a meaningless relationship, if there had been nothing to it, it wouldn't hurt. That did help me a little bit. Not much. I'm not going to pretend. Not much. But it did. It was one of those things where I sat there and went, yeah, it obviously wasn't nothing. Because I wouldn't be ripped up over it if it was nothing. So clearly there was something to it. You know, and that's where you lean on your friends and let your friends help you. And you just try to... There is no magic thing I can tell you. I wish there was. Boy, do I wish there was some magic thing that fixed it. But there isn't. And again, there is that, it doesn't help you now, but there is that thing where later you go, yeah, you're sort of glad there isn't an easy solution to it, because it would make you wonder then, well, did we really have anything? If it's this easy to get over it, could it really have been all that special? Probably not. So that is the one sort of consolation for stuff like that, is where you sit there and go, yeah, you know, if I was just like, whatever, then it really wasn't all that meaningful. Which is not to say that you can't have relationships that, not every relationship has to be deeply meaningful, but the more pain there is, the more legitimate pain there is, that means it wasn't for nothing. You know, and it's a weird thing, because you can know that. It's the whole thing where you can know something in your head and you can know something different in your heart. And those two things do not always agree. That is definitely true. I definitely had those days too. I was like, yeah, this just sucks. And it did. So yeah, sorry to hear that. Unfortunately, it's something that almost everybody goes through. Again, this is not me saying that to make it seem like it's any easier. It is not. But you're not the only one who's ever gone through it. And having gone through it, I can tell you, you will get through it. But at the same time, there's something else. People just try to ignore it or pretend that they're not in pain. It's perfectly reasonable to be in pain when you end a relationship. Unless they're that one lucky guy, but I'm telling you, there ain't that many of those guys around. And I know some who've said they are, and I know for a fact they're not. So it's just a rough thing to go through in life. It's that simple. Let me take a look at this. What? Why is it? That is a weird brush. Let's try this one. Oh, no. I'm not looking for sparkles. I'm looking for... This may not be the right brushes for this. Where's that? Oh, here, let me go with the crackle. I played with this on another one too. Okay, let's see. Yeah, no, that's too harsh. I need it to be softer than that. What do we got time-wise here? Okay, so I'm going to go for about another 15 minutes, and then I'll be done here. Let me think about... Oh, shoot. Just bumped my keyboard. It didn't fry anything, did it? No, okay. Let me think about what I want to do with this, because I want to have like a glow to the inner eyes. A lot of times when you see the images of this character, the eyes are very defined. But I don't think I want to go that route. I think I want to do it more as a kind of glow. Yeah, I think. Let's take a look here. Okay, well, it's got to be bigger than that. That's too small. Yeah, so see something like that. Jeez, it's not very diffused though. Interesting. Huh. Unless what I actually... No, it's airbrushing. That's what it should be. Maybe it's a soft blend. Okay, that might work if I pull the opacity way down. We'll see. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Okay, that might work. Okay. That's what I'm going for. Let's put on the assist for that. Now, this is going to take a minute to show up. I don't know how quickly the screen will show it, but I'm just kind of working in the glow of this eye thing. Just trying. I'm not really good at this, so I'm just trying to very, very slowly work this in, and what I will probably end up doing, here we go, is doing a blur on it to kind of help hide some of those edges. Because I think split is because of the physical parting. Yeah, well, I mean, that's especially right after a breakup. There's lots of. It's tough to read what reactions will be for things like that, you know, because you're. Even if you, okay, we're breaking up. You agree, you break up, right? There's still a component of. It's not like it's instantaneous for most people. I'm sure for some people they can just do a quick, clean break and they're done. Most people aren't. It isn't like that. Most people, there's this, you know, even if you know it's the right thing, you still have this. The feelings don't evaporate instantly. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that can be really tricky. I mean, I had the same thing with my ex at the time. I mean, I saw her and I immediately just wanted to run to her again. And it's like, well, but that part of it was over with. Wasn't easy to just break that, but yeah, no, it does. It absolutely does. Like I said, there is that aspect of if it didn't, then you'd have to wonder about what you actually had. You don't want it to just be instantly over. I mean, there's a part of you that thinks, oh, that would be the best thing if I could just have this be instantly disconnected. But you don't really want that. You think you do at the time, but you don't really. You want it to be a thing where it fades over time. Like I said, it doesn't make it easy when it's happening. Nothing makes it easier when it's happening, but just blur that. There we go. Okay. Well, I think what I'm going to do is, man, my left eye. I get this. Man, that's not blended really well. I may have to redo these. Man, I may have to redo these because I need that to be a better transition point. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop here. I think I'm going to stop. I'm going to bring it to a close here so I can kind of think about how I want to do this thing. Because it doesn't quite look like what I want. But my left eye is bothering me. It's been bothering me all day. Sometimes that happens. It's not allergies. It's just like staring at a computer screen too much. Which, I mean, I've got a computer screen in front of me. I've got the iPad screen in front of me. Everything's screens. So that's just how it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the stream to a close, I think, here. New gamer, I hope you feel better. I wish I had something more meaningful to say from that. It's just it's a tough thing. And I wish I had a magic thing I could tell you that would make it even 20% better. But unfortunately, everybody reacts to these things differently. And the way you heal from it, the way you move past it, all is different because every single person is different. Every single relationship is different. So, but I hope you feel better and navigate your way through it. I appreciate you stopping by and watching the stream. I hope I could at least distract you a bit from it, if possible, which is not really possible, but you try. But, you know, take comfort in your friends. That's what you have them for. Go eat ice cream. It's okay. Give yourself a break. Eat ice cream or whatever candy or sweet thing you like. That helps too. That does actually help. On that note, I don't know if I'm going to be doing a stream tomorrow. It depends. The timing this week has been weird. So this is not on a Tuesday. This is on a Wednesday because Tuesday yesterday didn't work. It's just been kind of a weird jumbled week in terms of the timing and stuff like that. So I just have to figure out whether there'll be another stream this week. It may just be a one stream week. Just sometimes happens that way. Sometimes life happens. Like New Gamer and I were just talking about. Sometimes things just happen. But I'm glad I got to do something at least for a little while. And I thank you for coming by, whether live like New Gamer did or later. Doesn't matter to me. I just appreciate you stopping by one way or another. Go be creative or experience more creativity if you can, because it's good for you. Oh, yeah, you will. You will. You got a lot of time. You got a lot of time. Trust me. And I was never the most popular guy, and I still met people. So, you got a long ways to go. Like I said, it doesn't change what it is now. The pain is the pain that it is now. And that's great. If you have a school where people are great, you're even better off. But like I said, it's a tough thing. So like I said, find comfort in your friends. It will really help. And just know that you know you're going through something, and nothing that you're going to feel from it is wrong or incorrect. It's just you have to react the way that you react. That's how it is. So that's about the best advice I'm ever going to be able to give on stuff like this, because you know, I'm not the best at that type of thing. Hey, whatever works, man. Find happiness where you can find it. It's as simple as that. That's my policy on everything. Find somebody who makes you happy, stick with them. That's it. Everything else is nonsense. Find somebody who treats you well and that you can find happiness with. That is all that's ever going to matter. That's it. Top, middle, bottom. Everything else, who cares? Just find somebody that you can get into a healthy relationship with and be happy with. That's it. You find that, you stick with it. Might take a couple tries, but that's what you're aiming for. So I wish you good luck. On that note, I'm going to end the stream now and say that creativity is good for you. Happiness is good for you. Finding somebody who makes you happy, and if they're creative too, that's great. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, you have a good night too. And yeah, that's it. That's all my life wisdom for this evening, because I don't have all that much.